arcade on a Sunday. Say a parking lot prayer, no. I just wanna kick back, relax. Shout it in the Monday. How about the seat slide? It's nice to meet you, green eyes. Let's take a lap. I bring you right back to your friends before they start tripping. As I see the from the glide with the golden teeth. I don't even know if they notice me. They don't even know that we way too deep. I'm from the west and they from the east, and all white tees looking like sheep. I don't even wanna give one of those sneaks. We throwing up fours and ones and threes and talking about west side.
What's happening? Hey, we just pulled up the Portland, bro. Where you at? Southside, Clayco, throw that.
You ain't never been to Skate Town. All national, you know it go down. You ain't never been to Cascade on the west side of MLK. You ain't never been to Golden Glide. It's in the day. You ain't never been to Sparkles, sliding with your babe. I ain't never been to Skate Zone, cause it's out in Marlboro. I'ma pack a Carlo. I'ma take the grass and meet tomorrow.
Bring it, yeah, bring it, always so bring it. If you reach out, so let it to you, ugly.
It's been the home of the Panthers since 1996. Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. We welcome you to EA Sports coverage of the National Football League. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap. It's the Washington Commanders and the Carolina Panthers.
coverage of the NFL brings us to the southern end of the Tar Heel State and to this beautiful venue, Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, it's an exciting battle of NFC teams between the Washington Commanders and the Carolina Panthers. Joey Sly is going to have the honor of getting us started. And off we go from Bank of America Stadium. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10.
Here goes to that. Hey, what's that?
Throwing play action, May. Flushed out of the pocket. Well, they took their shot immediately. Would have been cool if they connected, but no luck. 2nd down. We're seeing this more and more these days, mixing some deep looks into that opening script. Brock test all levels of the secondary. They held up there.
Yeah, and it's not going to be the last time this defense will be tested. This group likes to push the ball down the field. They answered the call that time.
Here goes to that. Hey, what's that?
Couldn't connect right side. It's incomplete.
Well, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
All right, 0-2 to start the game, and I'm guessing, partner, we're probably going to see a third pass now here. May now on 3rd down. Complete beyond the marker. And he is stopped as he reaches that 46-yard line. They gain 11 on that play, and that's going to bring up a Carolina 1st down. Give now to the running back. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
May off the play fake. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
I think I got the same thought bubble as all the fans in the stands with that one. You just got to tuck it. Don't try to force the issue. You're out there in the open space. Put your head down and go get the first.
Here's the give on 3rd and short. And they make the stop. We're going to say at about the 37-yard line. And that play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps the drive moving. We've set it down from the 37. Going to the ground again on 1st. He'll knife his way through for a pick of a 4.
Humble 5-6-yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain. Not a game-changing play by any means. But one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
So gain of 5 on that 1st down. Let's see if they can repeat that performance now here on 2nd. Operating from the gun. Here's May. And it looks great flying through the air, Brock, but problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. 3rd down coming up.
Quarterback of his renown, Kate, I'm not surprised at all to see him throw it into double coverage early. And that incompletion, well, it's just going to fuel his confidence that much more to keep forcing it.
Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage. Double coverage, deal breaker for a lot of QBs, Brock, but less so when it's a target you trust.
You know, it's interesting, Kate, even 20-something years ago, watching Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning work, every defense would go into every game trying to double cover him, but yet those two, well, like we just saw right there, just got it done regardless.
From the gun, they're going to hand it off. They'll get about 6 on this run, and more importantly, Brock gets him into the red zone.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you'd really break the ball.
He has the Carolina touchdown. The Panthers finish up an excellent opening series. This is Ryan Fitzgerald on to try the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Panthers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. Good work so far. He's got room. And a great run back has the offense just a touch shy midfield to start this drive.
Hey, listen, I get it. I'm as guilty as anyone. So hyper-focused on offense and defense, often forgetting it's special teams in a play like that can swing a game. What a great return now to start out on the short field. And you've got to believe all this offense is thinking is let's capitalize and find that end zone.
An even 10-yard gain on the play. And that's going to give the Commanders a first down. I'm not going to call this a must-score drive here in this first quarter, Brock, but when your opponents start the game with 6, it feels like you need some sort of answer.
You need a response, right? You need a response. You don't need all these home runs or big highlights. You just need to keep matriculating that ball down the field.
He's inside the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Washington. The Commanders finish off their opening drive. Well, Brock, they could prove me wrong, but I don't think touchdowns are going to come that easily the rest of this game. But starting out, we all welcome the quick score.
Yeah, not a lot of energy exerted, right? Not a lot of their cards shown just yet. They only got a couple plays into their strategy, and they found pay dirt. A lot of mystery still to come with what they're going to do schematically. A lot of answers have to be found defensively.
Now, after tying this game up, they're all set to center away. Okay, well, that one's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else we got here today. So that football coming out to our 35-yard line. So good field position for the Panthers. Starting this drive, 1st and 10. Lone back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And they'll take this ahead for 7. We've got 2nd and 3 now.
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity in the playbook, whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Back-to-back carries here. And this is across midfield. They're going to stop him at that 45-yard line. That's going to go as a gain of 13 yards. And that's good for a Panthers first.
That's just not the guy defensively you ever want in the open field. Frankly, with the amount of space he had at one point, they're lucky to have limited to the gain they did.
Here's the pistol snap to May. Bails out of the pocket quick. And that's incomplete. Wanted to dial up the aggressiveness there like that, but couldn't connect. 2nd down.
Okay, this quarterback gets out of the pocket. Genuinely a coin toss whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
2nd down, still 10 to go after that incomplete pass. Back to the air. It's May. Throwing the out route complete. And he gets it down to the 35 before stepping out.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns. He puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
Quick throw completed by May. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26. That's a pickup of 9. And that's going to bring up a Carolina 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Here's the one back on the handoff. And into a sea of bodies he goes. Looks like they'll get about 3 out of it.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Throw right side, caught by Njoku. And he gets this forward to the 19.
There's no question, Kate, that the big plays down the seam or with big tight ends a fan favorite, but it's those type of catches right there. The short yardage, gets good coverage, contested catches, will really make tight ends a locker room favorite.
There's pressure, and he's going to be dropped. Well done by the Commanders' defense. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down. Panthers calling on Ryan Fitzgerald here to attempt this field goal. From the right hash, it's a 47-yarder. Fitzgerald sends this through. And that's going to break our tie and give them a 3-point advantage.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Commanders starting out in a good spot here as they get set. 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Airing it out to start this drive. That's caught. It's McLaurin downfield. He makes it in for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders take the lead on the first play of the drive. Terry McLaurin with the touchdown.
I know you got to mix your looks defensively. You just can't play all zone coverage, and sometimes you got to play man-to-man. But with the receiver, with that...
Bringing pressure, and it's blocked! And he's thrown down. It was a long shot after the block anyway, and they're unable to add anything on top of that touchdown.
Joey Slye to kick off for the Commanders.
After seeing his point after blocked, he's got to stay out there and kick it off. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
10-10 at their own 35-yard line.
So good field position for the Panthers. Starting this drive, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And they're all the way across midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that's good for a Panthers first.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know it can set the table for more.
On play action, here's May. Escapes the pocket. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
Well, discretion, the better part of valor in a lot of cases. Rather than force something with no one open and risk a turnover, he wisely just threw it away.
2nd and 10. Here's May. Finds the in route complete. Quick rally to the catch by the defense, stopping the gain at the 33. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
10 at the 33-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that 1st down play.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just sometimes you got to run into darkness. Just go where there is no lane and hope that something opens along the way. That linebacker said, not this time.
1st down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. They go play action. Here's May. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
Even the best of them could be hurried into a throw before they're ready, and that pressure just messed up all the timing, the rhythm, and the clock of the quarterback.
3rd and long for him here. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it. Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good, to get into that rhythm, and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Returning it from the 4. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
All right, the Washington offense is set. Here comes 1st and 10. Starting on the ground here, Krosky Merritt. He's taken down, but not before he gets this one to the 41. This has the makings of a shootout. A lot of points, but still tied as we reach the end of one. Both teams neck and neck so far. We'll take a brief pause and head back to Bank of America Stadium after this. second quarter. Commanders in possession. They've got a first to begin the frame. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well, they connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series, and he's the one driving it.
After the incomplete pass, here comes 2nd and 10. Pass play coming here. Hits his running back. And he fights his way down to the 35 before the defense can get him out. It's a gain of 22. And that's good for a Washington first down. They're throwing it. Short pass brought in. And he takes it across the 30 before heading out.
Hey, you like these results on first. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on second down. That playbook wide open.
Still sticking with the passing game. Finds him over the middle. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's going to give the Commanders a first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him, only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. And this is going to fall incomplete in the end zone. Wanted it all right there. Now they've got to regroup for 2nd down.
Well, it's hard for me to get too mad at him for missing a touchdown when he's already got 2 in his pocket. Maybe fantasy managers might not agree with me on this one, Kate. But don't worry, as hot as he is, I bet you a 3rd one's coming at some point.
Rose caught. And that is a Washington touchdown. The Commanders take a second quarter lead. So he finds his man in space, and then the wideout takes advantage. Nice finish there to take it in for 6.
Yeah, no question about it. We know points are always a premium in this league, and this really becomes a 3 to 4 point play. Right, when you don't have to settle for field goals, you could throw it underneath and your receivers do that much damage in the open field and score a touchdown. That's big time.
So after thinking it over, these guys lining up for 2.
Washington will line up for the 2-point conversion.
All right, they're going to throw for it. And he's got it. Cut the end zone, so the touchdown and the 2-point pass break the tie. Give him an 8-point lead.
Panthers 13. Joey Sly to kick off for the
All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. And that one flies right on past the end zone. Did not make an effort to even hit the landing zone, Brock, so they're going to gift him a drive starting at the 35. So good field position for the Panthers. Starting this drive, 1st and 10. May now from the gun. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And now it's 2nd down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
At the 46-yard line.
Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
And a yard.
They give it to him again. They stopped him just in time. He got back to the line, but denied the yard they needed. Third down coming up. Man, some of these middle backers are so impressive these days, Brock. No problems at all for him to range downhill and cut that play down behind the line.
Kind of the calling card of the position played today. They're not as big as they once were, but boy, can they run. As you said, whether it's downhill or sideline to sideline like that.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Well, no look on his first look of the game, so they're going to have to evaluate things now on 4th and short.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable and an incomplete.
Only 2 yards to the marker, and they're going for it here on 4th. Trying to throw for it with May. That one finds his man, likely. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. That was a big 3-yard gain because if instead of a turnover on downs, partner, it gets him the first.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
They'll run here on first down. And this run is going to push him inside the 40. Give him 7 there.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
From the gun, it's May. And he brings it in, but got too close to the sideline there. They're ruling him out of bounds. We've got 3rd down.
That's just simply one of those situations, Kate, where I think you and I got to tip our cap to the defense. Really took away everybody. There was no outlet, and only an incompletion could be had.
Main had a throw on 3rd. He's got the first down grab and still going. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. It's a gain of 11 there, and that picks up the first.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
On the ground, Chuba Hubbard gets it. And they'll surrender just a lone yard. That brings up 2nd down.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big gains of next week.
Off the play action, May. He rolls to his right. The ball is out, May lost it. And it ends up out of bounds. A small loss on the play, but they do, importantly, keep possession.
Oh, you know what, Kate? That defense right there, they thought they had a huge play until they saw that ball bouncing out of bounds. One bounce, it's just the other direction. They're off the field. Instead, well, they're on the field. They got to shake it off, though, and keep this offense from the end zone.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. He beams one deep right side. He has the Carolina touchdown. The Panthers can tie it up in the 2nd after cutting into the lead.
A receiver this skilled, well, he's got every route in his back pocket, but sometimes simple is better. No complicated cuts, no double moves. You just go run right by him.
Things trim back down to a single point, Brock, as they send this off and away. And he just sends this out and over the end zone, so no threat of a return. They're going to spot the ball up at the 35 to begin this drive. Commanders starting out in a good spot here as they get set. 1st and 10. Now we get a timeout by the Panthers. It's their first. And they'll have 2 left to work with here in the first half. Commanders starting out in a good spot here as they get set. 1st and 10. They'll throw to begin this drive. Complete out to the right. And he'll get it up to the 44.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd down give to Krosky Merritt. Rolling into enemy territory. And he's all the way across midfield, down inside that 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
First down from the 42. Setting up to throw. Forced out to his right. And he'll just throw this away, Brock, and that's going to bring us to our 2-minute warning. After the incompletion, they come up on 2nd and 10. They're going to try and throw it here. Throw left side, complete. And he's going to get this down inside the 30 before he's driven out. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Coming to the line, this is 1st and 10. Krosky Merritt gets it from the gun. And he'll only get this to the 26 before going down. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Touchdown, Washington. The Commanders grow their lead just before halftime. Pat Freiermuth, the touchdown. It is a word broadcasters hesitate to use for a lot of reasons, but 4 touchdowns in 4 drives, Brock. I think we can throw it out here. Perfection thus far.
Yeah, this game will humble you at this level. I mean, this is the best of the best playing it, and you don't normally see this kind of execution and this kind of efficiency, so I understand that word perfection. I will remind everybody, though, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. Okay, well, that one's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else we got here today. So that football coming out to our 35-yard line. So good field position for the Panthers. Starting this drive, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, here's May. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on the throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Here's May to the air. Has him on the quick hitter. And he stopped cold at the spot. Ooh, he paid for that one, but hey, still enough for that first down.
That pitch and catch won't show up as a big play on the stat sheet, but it gives his own defense a little time to rest and gives an offensive coordinator a new set of downs to work with.
Well, the president nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Like a good target, Brock. Neighbors is there. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line. A gain of 15 there. And that's going to bring up a Carolina first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Going play action, May. Completed to his running back. And this is going to go as a gain of about 3 before he's met and escorted out.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. Where one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
To the air yet again, May. Completed over the middle. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. Now Carolina's going to take a timeout. That's its second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
They'll come up on 1st and 10. Throwing again, it's May. Complete out to the right side. And he's out of bounds at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal coming up.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
Offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And he won't challenge for the goal line. The stop made at the 4. Offense up to the line fast. Before we can get a snap on 2nd down, they call timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. Setting up, 2nd and goal. And he's got it. Touchdown, Carolina. The Panthers earn the chance to tie it before halftime. Manage that clock beautifully down to the final moments, Brock, and they get the score just before halftime.
That doesn't change the theme of the halftime speech, but I guarantee you it adds some enthusiasm to the tone. That was awesome.
Will line up for the two-point conversion.
May will throw. Caught at the 1. But he's not going to reach the end zone, so they get 6, but not an extra 2 just before the break.
Panthers 26. Ryan Fitzgerald to kick off for Carolina.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. So it goes for a touchback. Let's see what they decide to do with the time they've got remaining here. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. Looking to throw. Looking slant route, complete. He loses the football. And he's fortunate to cover it himself, but the clock's still running as we count down to halftime. And with the clock just about to strike 0, we get a timeout. 1 second to go in our half. Here comes the final play of our first half.
Let's go.
One final shot before the half. Throwing for the end zone. And they will not connect. Took his shot there to end the half, but no dice. That's going to take us to the break. So we're through 2 quarters now. Still a half of football to be played. We'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports. Well, if you love high-scoring games, no doubt you have been glued to your television so far. And no signs of slowing down as we begin our second half. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down.
Will take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Commanders to the line now, Brock. Here comes 1st and 10. Handing off to Kronsky Merritt, running left. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that 1st down run.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
2nd and 10, back to throw. Well, his first real mistake, that's intercepted. And the Panthers have it as he records the first interception of his young career.
I know he started the play as a defender, but gosh, he looked good, didn't he? Running it back, he looked like a receiver navigating on that return. The way he saw the field, he evaded obstacles, and he chewed up yardage in the open space. That would make those offensive coaches and teammates proud. We've seen defensive players get touches on occasion, and I think he just gave himself maybe a look on that side of the ball down the road.
They'll run here from the gun. And they take it across the goal line for a Carolina touchdown. The Panthers grab the lead on their first series of the half. Made the right read on the RPO inside the red zone, Brock, and things worked out.
And you know what is so key about these RPOs? It's that mesh point. It's the details right there. Not immediately giving any indication of what they were going to do, and it created, Kate, the slightest of hesitations for the defense. And that slightest opportunity is all he needed to hit the end zone.
His return starts at the 5. Ooh, a big lick from the coverage team there. And that is going to stop things before they can get it to the 30. All right, the Washington offense is set. Here comes 1st and 10. Not deterred by that pick. He's throwing again. Escapes the pocket. That's low and bounces short of his man.
Once that quarterback broke the pocket, kind of turns into like a zone read option a little bit. Kate, you got a couple choices. Keep it yourself or try to force the throw. There was nowhere to go. He really should have used his legs.
2nd and 10, still at the 28. I'll throw it. And again, it's going to hit the ground. Incomplete. Looking for his running back, and 2 straight incompletions that made this 3rd down.
I know that you and I love, Kate, looking at plays, discussing them, and all the different outlets and checkdowns, and usually there's a completion to be had. Not against this defense. Not on that one.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. 3rd and long for him here. Gets this one to Freiermuth. And this one breaks beautifully as they're going to get it forward to their own 45. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
Washington, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
He's going to throw it again. Short pass brought in. And he takes it across midfield and into Panthers territory.
I'm not going to lie. I know they got a completion, and completions, you never turn them down. But to make that throw for those yards in the double coverage, that's way too much risk for that reward.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Throwing it again here. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. So they offer the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did.
Complete beyond the marker. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's good for a Washington 1st down.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
Headed out right. He goes back to him yet again. Complete.
Timing on routes change when you leave the pocket. It really does become, well, the schoolyard. And you got to scramble around. What a great adjustment to still deliver a clean ball.
Offense still line. This is 2nd and 4. They are throwing it again. He will not score, but that does set him up, Brock, with 1st and goal, less than a yard away from the end zone.
Gosh, that is so demoralizing defensively. You do everything right, you draw it up right, you got double coverage, and yet you still can't take the ball away.
Four downs to get this across. Here's 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. He's got it. And he maybe got back to the line there, but no further.
You know, I've learned over the years, defense Defensively, they call that the camera club. How many different guys can get rallying to the football? So that last shot you see on camera, you see as many defenders keeping that to a 0-yard gain. That's well done defensively.
Another chance to get that lone yard. Here's 2nd and goal. Krosky Merritt. And he's in for the touchdown. The Commanders take a 3rd quarter lead. Quite the throw from him on that play, Brock. Gotta say, he looked like he'd make quite the emergency quarterback for this squad if the need ever arises, huh?
And, Kate, I know how this plays out, all right? They worked on it all week. He showed out during the practice week on the practice field, and now he just showed out when it really mattered, and everybody's going to hear about it, and they don't mind, because you're absolutely right. That was a dime for 6.
The Commanders will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Has it at the 2. And he's into the end zone. Successful play there. That makes the lead 3 points.
36. Panthers 33. Joey Sly to kick off for the
All
Commanders.
set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
So good field position for the Panthers. Starting this drive, 1st and 10. May off the play fake. That's incomplete left side. Looking for his wide receiver there. So 2nd down coming up.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Handoff now out of the gun. Defender gets to him right around the line. It's going to be marked as no gain. So Brock, that means 3rd down coming up.
A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
They'll throw 3rd and long. He has the first over the middle. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's good for a Panthers first. Lone back gets the handoff. Good running here on 1st down as he works his way forward for about 8.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly when he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
From the gun, it's May. Got a man downfield. This is Neighbors. And he's going to take this down to the 11-yard line. It's a 30-yard gain, Brock, so unsurprisingly, that gives him a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
The give now out of the shotgun. And that run good for a handful as it brings up 2nd down.
That result right there is why coaches all across all levels of football on defense talk about good, solid tackling, Kate. It's not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when you can bring a guy down, you're able to, and keep them from piling on those yards.
Another carry for him. And he will take this across. Touchdown, Carolina. The Panthers take a 3rd quarter lead. This is Fitzgerald trying to tack on the extra point. Right down the middle. It's good. And the Panthers take a 4-point lead.
Commanders 36.
Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff.
To kick off for Carolina.
Starting from the 5. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. First call here coming from the shotgun. Airing it out to start this drive. Finds him over the middle. And they will finally catch up to him just a second before he could reach that 40. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on a defense.
Throwing now on first down. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And they'll stop him here, but not before he gets out to the 47-yard line. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's going to give the Commanders a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Let's go now.
Back to throw. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Steadily keeping him involved in their passing game, Brock, but that throw didn't work out the way his earlier targets had.
It kind of felt like you could see that from the booth. This defense was sick and tired of this running back catching the ball.
Yeah.
A whole lot more active in their coverage, and somebody was ready to finally separate the football when it arrived.
Again to throw on second. Has him on the quick hitter. And he fights his way down to the 35 before the defense can get him out. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Washington first
Still
down.
sticking with the passing game. Completed over the middle. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. They pick up 14 yards on that one, and that's good for a Washington first down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. That was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch. There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
5 still to go here. This is second down. Sticking to the air here. Into the hands of his running back, Krosky Merritt. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got first and goal.
That's good for a Washington first down. First and goal at the 7.
Goal to go. It's a pass play. And he is in. Touchdown, Washington. The Commanders take the lead as time runs out here in the third. So that, Brock, an important score here as they move out in front.
You know, Kate, this is the time of the game where fatigue starts to set in every once in a while, but that right there was a determined-looking drive. They were not going to be denied and able to score and take the lead.
The kick is good.
That one splits the uprights. And the Commanders push their lead to 3. A very active quarter for us. Plenty of points in that frame as we reach the end of 3. And when we resume play, it'll be with a kickoff.
Joey Slye to kick off for the
All set for the kickoff. Slye with the honors. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So good field position for the Panthers. Starting this drive, first and 10. Setting him on the dive. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Last run got him 3. Here's second and 7. Going play action. May. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And it'll be third down coming up after this defense's third sack of the game.
Hey, I understand that call. You try to get play action to get away from the rush. The problem is this defense has just been relentless.
Here he goes, third and long. Man and Neighbors has it. And he's brought down, but there's some laundry on the field. So through some pretty blatant interference, he found a way to make the catch for the first down, Brock, and they can decline that penalty.
You know what you don't find in the NFL, Kate? You don't find receivers that aren't hungry. When that ball's in the air, they want to eat, and they will fight, and they will scratch, and they will claw through contact to make sure they get their touches.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 47. Here's the pistol snap to May. Buying some time right. Complete out to the right side. What a hit. He gets flattened to the ground.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. May now from the gun. Catch made over the middle. And he stops cold at the spot. Ooh, he paid for that one, but hey, still enough for that 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Throwing again. It's May. Firing one deep for the end zone. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. And it sets up 2nd down.
You know, that was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
May trying again here on 2nd. Short pass brought in. For a second, we both thought he'd get the first, but he winds up being just shy of a gain of 8, 3rd down.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
He goes back to him yet again. Complete. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
To the line and set. Here we go. 1st down. Here's the handoff. One good for a gain of 4. It's 2nd down.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet.
And the ground game works for the touchdown. The Panthers take a 4th quarter lead. A chance to take their lead beyond a field goal on this point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Panthers take a 4-point lead. Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. Fielded at the 7. He's got a lane up past the 30. And great starting field position here as they bring him down beyond the 40.
Hey, Kate, the best kick returners I was ever around, really at any level. They want this opportunity. They want their chance to help their team. They know they're down, but they also know that return, especially a good one like this, can set the offense up for success.
Hits his running back. And he'll cover up as they touch him down a few yards short of the 1st.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd down, looking for options. Finds him on the crossing route. And they are set up excellently. This is down to the 18. How about a big hitter? 34 yards there and a new set of downs.
I love everything about that play, Kate, so much for a quarterback. When you throw in that crossing route, it's imperative that you lead that receiver. You don't throw where he's at, you throw where he's going. And when you do, yards after catch follow.
Let's go.
From the red zone on 1st. Hauled in left side. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. That's a gain of 13, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
He's going to throw it again. Escapes the pocket. Did not like what he was seeing, Bronson. He's just going to hold this one away. So they fire for the end zone on 1st down, Brock. I think a lot of folks probably assume after the incompletion it'd be a run here on 2nd and goal. What say you?
Yeah, I think you always got to be careful about assuming. As a fan, as a defensive coordinator, I think as an offense, you've worked on it all week, continue to get to the stuff you trust the most.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And that brings up 3rd and goal. He'll throw it. He's got it. And that is a Washington touchdown. The Commanders take a 4th quarter lead. The impact this guy has had on this game, Brock, has been massive. They'd be on the comeback trail right now if it wasn't for his 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that second one far bigger than his first when you just look at the game circumstances. Puts him in front here in the second half. It puts a little jet fuel in the engines of their defense.
That one right down the middle. And the Commanders push their lead to 3. All set for the kickoff. Slide with the honors. And that one flies right on past the end zone. Did not make an effort to even hit the landing zone, Brock. So they're going to gift him a drive starting at the 35. So good field position for the Panthers. Starting this drive, 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he stops quickly here. 2 yards on the play. We've got 2nd and 8. 3 yards on the 1st down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7. We've reached the 2-minute warning from Charlotte. Panthers trail by a field goal. 2nd down now. They need 7. From the gun, it's May. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete. Malik Neighbors, the one he was throwing for. And now it's 3rd down.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
To throw. Checks this one down. Hubbard. And they're not going to have to burn a timeout. Smart play here. He gets out of bounds with the 1st down.
Something out of nothing, Kate. That may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that, it was all him. Turning a modest pass into far more than a modest gain.
And he'll scurry forward for a pickup of 3.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a 1st down.
They'll come up after that 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6. Here he is to throw. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And it's 3rd down.
No surprise to see the quarterback go back to that well. That security blanket that's been his tight end all game long. But finally, this defense has an answer.
Here he is to throw. Hits him on the out route. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, or right at the 31. It's a gain of 12 on that one. And that's going to bring up a Carolina 1st down. New set of downs for him from the 31. On 1st down, they'll run. Well, even a great game is going to have its lesser moments. You can't get anything out of that carry. Stop for no gain.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10. Setting up to pass. Completed to his running back. By a man, he's in the clear. Running in the red zone. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. So 20 yards on that play. And that's good for a Panthers 1st. The Commanders take a timeout. They're 1st. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Wary of the clock here, Brock, but at least all their timeouts are still available. It's 1st and 10. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2. Washington calls it 2nd timeout. And they're still going to have 1 left at their disposal. yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Back-to-back carries here. And it's another first down on this drive. Man, this time they're into first and goal. Final timeout taken by the Commanders. Got that chip shot in their back pocket to tie it. A chance at the lead here first, though. First and goal. Back to the wall again. The charge into traffic, but the line doesn't budge. They stall him out short.
Oh, so aggravatingly close to a safety on that one right there, Kate. Just a matter of a foot, and they could have had some points on the board defensively.
Another chance to get that lone yard. Here's second and goal. Back to throw. Hauled in by Njoku, left side. And he's in, and that's a touchdown. And with almost no time left, he just likely won them this game. A chance to take their lead beyond a field goal on this point after. And it's good, so they take the lead, and the extra point buys them some breathing room. A field goal does not tie it now. Now Fitzgerald on to handle the kickoff. And this is going to be a touchback, Brock, so we'll see what they decide to do with the final seconds they've got left here. Starting out in a good spot here as they get set. First and 10. He'll look to throw it. And that's incomplete, and it also stops the clock with just 5 seconds left. Following the incompletion, we stay at the 35. It's second and 10. He's going to throw this one. That's caught. It's McLaurin downfield. And a great play is brought to an end as this one reaches the 35-yard line. So the Panthers guard the vault and get the win at home. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. So for Brock Huard,